cool spring morning. About 35 degrees here in mid-April. Back on the Third Fork Trail for the 4th time. Got my full multi-day pack loadout with me. The goal today is to see if I can keep myself in backpacking shape for summertime. Carrying about probably 30 pounds. Got my full kit, everything. Staying in shape for those backpacking trips I have planned for the summer. But I have not tested out my new setup that I've been slowly investing in for the last several months, little by little. Finally got my full kit ready for those summertime trips. And my goal, like I said, is just complete this hike carrying a full amount of weight, or complete several miles and do an out and back, but put some miles in. Make sure I'm still in shape to carry all this weight on a long trip. And test out my tent, my sleep system back at the campgrounds, which is probably a mile or so back that way. And just have a nice little overnight camping experience. I figure it's a good situation to test out my gear because I'll be at a campground, so if it is too cold, always pack up and get in the truck. But it's also a little bit colder than what my sleep system is rated for. So I figure I'll test out my gear at its maximum cold rating limits, because it's only going to get warmer, obviously, as the year goes on. It should be warmer in backpacking season, but I'm going to test it out at its lowest temperature ratings and see how good I sleep for the night. Gonna have some backpacking meals at the campfire and just chill. So see how it goes. So I'm about 5.5, maybe 6 miles in. Decided to do 4 miles out and then 4 miles back, so 8 miles total. I just really didn't feel like hitting the switchbacks and the crazy elevation through Wallstrom Hollow today, but still get another 8 miles in on the day. And look at that, got some clouds rolling in. Beautiful day, but anyways, got some exercise and conditioning in, carrying this pack. It's been about 2.5 hours. And should be about another hour. We'll be back at the campsite, set up camp, cook a little breakfast meal, and give you guys an update then. Hey Siri, start a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Counting down.
Well, as you can see, I'm back in the truck. I hadn't set up my tent yet. Just did a little bit of writing in the journal and decided to do a little reading. This book, A Walk in the Park. It is everything they're hyping it up to be. It is absolutely amazing. I'm only a small section of the way in, as you could tell, and it is freaking amazing. If you're into adventures or anything like that, this is the book right here. This is it. Free Outside by Jeff Garmeyer. I think he was the 5th calendar year Triple Crown hiker in the world. And that was a great book also. Couldn't put that one down, but Walk in the Park. Great book. But it got really windy and cold. So I was going to do a little bit of reading and just kind of stay bundled up in my layers, stay warm for a little bit. And then once the wind calmed down a little bit, set up my tent, start chopping firewood. And of course, it started sprinkling. So I had to pack up my backpack and load everything back in the truck. I had my phone plugged in charging, so the truck was running. So I turned the heater on right now to warm up while my phone charges and while I wait out the sprinkling. Was supposed to get some rain tomorrow evening. Nothing from yesterday or this morning or today was in the forecast. But as always, Mother Nature in Idaho has their own plans, so it's not bad. There are some gray clouds rolling over. Moving pretty quickly though, so hopefully they pass by and I'm able to set up my tent and camp out. I mean, I'm set on camping here tonight. Don't want to camp in the rain today, really, to be honest, but I got firewood, got enough layers. I got an all-season / 3-season sleep system and tent set up, so really want to spend the day out here. It's super nice, but just got to wait it out for a little bit, see if it rains real hard, see if the rain passes, and go from there. Gotta love Idaho. You can check all the forecasts you want, but Idaho and Mother Nature work in unison to come up with their own set of plans. I've obviously camped out here in much worse weather than this, but those times I did, I had my tent pitched well before the storm rolled through. But it looks like the clouds are breaking open back that way, which would be southwest, I believe. And they're heading this way, so it might just be a little small shower, small storm passing through. So I think once the wind dies down a little bit and the rain stops, if it does, hopefully, that's when I'll get out and pitch my tent. Really set on camping here tonight. Really want to sleep in that Nemo tent and test out that Nemo sleep system. Pieced it together little by little over the last several months, and finally achieved a good backpacking setup for the Sawtooths and the Tetons, and gotta test it out. I mean, I lug it on my back for 8 miles today. Whole point was to lug it on my back for 8 miles and come back and set it up and sleep in it for a night, and maybe lug it for a few miles tomorrow just to stay in condition and get used to everything. And yeah, but in the meantime, keep reading A Walk in the Park because it is just too inspiring and too interesting and written so well. So it's all good. Pay attention to this opening in the sky. Go from there. This is a Nemo switchback. I think it has an R value, I want to say, of 2.4. I have the X-Ped Ultra, the one that's like 1.5 R. Figured for that extra little bit of warmth, might as well. Next part of the sleep system, the Nemo Tensor All Season Sleep Mat or sleeping mattress. This is the regular wide. This one has an R value of 5.8 or 5.9. Considered an all season, still lightweight, enough for backpacking. I remember last year when I was in the Sawtooth, I was really freezing cold at night. So I figured get an all season, play it safe, get that extra little bit of warmth, even if it is summertime. And granted, last year when I was in the Sawtooth, it was late September. But I still want to play it safe. I want to sleep warm, I want to be comfortable. Connect our pump sack to it. I saw somewhere online that you should inflate these to max pressure for max insulation rating. That feels pretty solid. Feels pretty good. Funny, they call it the Vortex pump sack. Don't worry, I'm not going to get any wise ideas. Got a nice little cubby up there. But there's our switchback and our Tensor all season sleep pad. Feels very good. Next we have our Nemo pillow. Oh yeah, the rain's starting to come down again. I gotta hurry up. This is our sleeping pillow, also by Nemo. Kind of put a whole Nemo system together by coincidence. I also have some X-Bed stuff for warmer weather, so not 100% partial to Nemo. Just kind of all happened that way. Oh yeah, that feels good. And the bottom of my Osprey Atmos AG65 is where I have my sleeping bag, which you could probably guess what brand it is. This is an REI Co-op compression sack. We'll find out why I have an REI sack in just a minute. Take this inside there. If I look awkward or goofy doing this shit, then I'm not a pro. I'm just an average guy who loves to do this shit and share it with everyone. So this is the Nemo Disco 30 down sleeping bag. 30-degree rated bag. It's supposed to dip into the high 30s tonight, maybe a little bit colder. So this may push its absolute limits, but I'll have plenty of layers on as well, and wool socks and all that. Has these thermo gills to open up if you need more airflow, if it does get a little warm. This is very comfortable. This is the regular wide version, and it's a spoon-shaped sleeping mattress, or sleeping bag, excuse me. I'm a side sleeper, predominantly side sleeper. I do a lot of restless tossing and turning, and the spoon-shaped design allows for more room around the elbows and knees for people who sleep on their sides. That is I went with this one over my, I think it's an X-Ped, I forget the name, but it's a mummy-shaped 30-degree bag. This one is supposed to be really good, really comfortable. and keep you very warm. Nemo's Endless Promise. Comfort is 40 degrees, limit is 31 degrees. Extreme temperature rating is 3 degrees, which will never take it down that low. This is 650 FP down. Looking very forward to sleeping in this system tonight and seeing how it pans out. So as I mentioned just a minute ago, I have the Osprey Atmos AG65. I went with Osprey because I tried on a bunch of different bags, and this one felt the absolute most comfortable and form-fitting and lightweight. I love all the pockets. I have some North Face camp slippers in here. Got my scent-proof bags. Got my poop kit and my hygiene kit in here in the front. Got my ultralight camp chair there in the side. My Nalgene 48 ounce. All this rain's putting pressure on me to talk too fast. And this wasn't even supposed to be filmed like this. This is supposed to be a little personal video, but anyways, yeah, got all kinds of accessories in the top, all the stuff you need from first aid to solar bank chargers. Got my Barron Mountain Lion spray. Got my Garmin GPS. But it fits everything and more that I need, and it's still really comfortable and really lightweight. And I'm really thrilled about it. I love it a lot. So far today, hiking 8 miles with it on the trail, I think it was close to 30 pounds, if I remember correctly, with everything loaded in, and that's including that heavy ass bear vault full of food. It worked a charm. It was comfortable. I loved it. It felt like it formed to my body when I was hiking. Really awesome. So I'm not going to go over full contents, full supply breakdown, because this isn't that video. This is just me testing out my most important items that I finally invested in over the last several months to take on my summertime backpacking trips. So, and this is also another one, this REI rain shell that I'm wearing. This is the cheaper of the 2 rain shells they offer. I don't remember what it's called, sorry. But it's very comfortable, very lightweight, folds into the pocket, and it keeps me dry. So there's that. I got some other summertime hiking clothes from REI as well. The Sahara shade hoodie, the Sahara trail pants, and inside here I have my extra clothes, which is another layer of fleece, top and bottoms from REI also. Got to use those REI coupons and the REI member discounts and all that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's that. Sure you could hear that. We have now moved from rain to hail. Getting a true test of our tent today. I think I'm gonna have some snacks. Test out how comfortable the sleep pad feels. Alright, let's give it a shot. Haven't slept on one of these in a while. Oh gosh. So far, so good. Pillow, mat, everything feels very comfortable. Yeah, so far it feels pretty good. Should probably take my keys off so I don't put a hole in anything. Oh yeah, that is comfortable. We're on some dirt and loose gravel surface underneath the tent. So having this switch pad underneath, the switchback pad, underneath, I think was a good choice. Feels pretty good, gotta say. Feels pretty dang good. Guess the real test is gonna be how warm we stay tonight. How warm we stay inside this Nemo down sleeping bag. See how down Nemo is. Just took a nice little hour-and-a-half nap. So far I'm loving this sleep system. I didn't get in the bag yet because it's obviously not that cold yet, but it's 5 p.m. It's in the either the high 40s or the low 50s, but it's really windy. But it's still really cozy in this tent. Really comfortable in the sleep system. I slept on my side like I'm doing now, and I slept on my back, and I'm really impressed. Very happy with this investment. Very comfortable system here. Very comfortable tent. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, well, I think I got a little carried away there with filming the setting up of the tent and the sleep system. Kind of went back and forth between filming an actual video on YouTube and trying to look like I know what I'm doing entirely, and just kind of filming myself doing shit and keeping it as like a personal vlog for my personal video collection kind of thing. It's hard when you want to film and you know what you're doing, but when the camera's on and you're filming and you know people are going to see it, the pressure to do everything perfect the first time kind of gets you kind of in a funk, and then you have trouble putting up a tent that, you know, is something you've been doing for a very long time now. But tent's up, sleep system's extremely comfortable. It's all really good quality, it seems like, right away anyways. I got to play with the mayfly, rainfly, and see, because there's an area right in the bottom of the rainfly. I don't know if that's part of the design to allow airflow, or if that's just my mistake and where I stake down the guy lines for the rainfly and how tight I tension them. I do kind of like the idea of some airflow going through the tent, but in a windier place like this, with how cold it gets at night, that could be something I'll have to mess with. But the hail stopped, the rain stopped, everything's set up, everything's comfortable, so I think it may be time to chop some firewood. Kind of take a break from trying to film some perfect video, which wasn't even the intention of today or this recording experience in the first place. I'm obviously not going to have a huge fire going with how close it is to the tent. Didn't want to scoot it over further this way because of that. This is the most level ground right here. So I'll keep the fire very respectable, keep it very small, and obviously make sure it's all the way out before I go into my tent for the night. Love being out here. Love doing this kind of stuff. Sometimes it presents its challenges, but it's not a big deal. It's part of the process, you know. It's very rewarding, but at the same time, doing everything solo gets kind of tiring and can be frustrating or exhausting at times. You know, this is the life I created for myself and the life I chose. Some of it was chosen for me by things that have happened, my fault and others involved as well. But yeah, man, the weekly grind, the daily grind sometimes gets tiring, being so far away from your family, but also being in a state and a place that you love dearly. Missing mom and dad, missing brothers, nieces, missing your closest circle of people, not having somebody to come home to every day. It's a blessing and a curse. It's kind of nice, but also at times you're like, fuck, I gotta do dishes, laundry, pay bills, file taxes, you know, on one income and one person doing everything, plus your full-time job, cleaning the house, grocery shopping. It's exhausting sometimes, you know. Rewarding, but exhausting. Grateful to have everybody out there to share these experiences and share these adventures with, though. And I do have an amazing circle of people around me here in Idaho. Do have an amazing support system back home, all my friends and family, people in Hawaii reaching out to me all the time that I worked with and lived with and call my ohana. You know, this is what I love to do. storm and hail rolling in again or not. Got this beautiful creek flowing behind me. Chopping firewood for a campfire I hope to have tonight. Over the last several months, I was finally able to piece together little by little a quality backpacking system for the summertime, and I have some amazing adventures planned. I'm out here in the peaceful outdoors, nobody else here. It's nice. Nice. It's all sunny and clear skies now. And the clouds creep in, the sun goes behind the clouds a little bit here and there, but fucking beard getting out of control. Yeah, sunny for the most part. Glad I didn't hightail it out of here earlier. So after my nap, I chopped the rest of my firewood and started reading more of this book. This is just too good. It's written so well. It's funny. It's intricate. It's very elaborative on the details. It's just awesome. Great book so far. I'm in chapter 10, or starting chapter 10. You can see how much more I have to go. But this is a really good book. I'm really loving this. So when I went into Barnes & Noble to find this one, I went in thinking I'm going to have to go around the right side and kind of dig through the little outdoors area and kind of keep an eye out for it. Saw it on Amazon, but I've taken a liking to going into Barnes & Noble and choosing out my books in person now. I actually went in specifically looking for this one, and the first table when you walk in the first set of double doors, big old stack right there with an advertisement banner and everything. I knew it was meant to be. This is just awesome. It's about 6 o'clock, 5:53. This is usually what time I eat dinner every day. Maybe a little bit earlier than that actually. So I'm not terribly hungry, but might as well cook some dinner now because I got some freeze-dried snacks to try out later too. I gotta say, I'm still a Mountain House guy. I still think Mountain House is the better backpacking meals, the better tasting meals anyways, in my opinion. Not that fuel or peak refuel is bad, but I don't know, it's just something about the flavor and what I feel after eating it. I like Mountain House better. But for dinner, this is one of their more popular ones. White chicken chili. Looks really good and sounds really good, so I'm gonna try it out. This may be the savior for peak refuel, but I think on my big trips I have planned coming up, I might stick with Mountain House. Heard they got a new flavor, a new meal, jambalaya. I'm actually looking forward to that hitting the shelves because that looks really good. Let's give it a smell test. Oh, fuck, it smells amazing. It's got chicken, corn, vegetables and beans, and a creamy white chili sauce. Sounds really good. Let's get some water boiled. Oh yeah, it smells really good right away. Might have put a hair too much. Give it the old spoon lick test. Pretty good. Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Counting down.
This is the same container I bought for my first backpacking trip up to Sawtooth Lake late September last year. Still got some left in it. It says 55 boils per can, but I've been using it for 7 months. Somehow it's still working. I got an extra can with me in case this runs out because I'm an over prepper, but Jetboil, I gladly pay the price for because I like shit that works, shit that's good quality, you know. When you're backpacking, hiking, camping, you got to have good stuff, because when you're comfortable or when you trust your gear, it can create a different experience for you. You know, there's some things you could budget by, like I have another sleep system for my backpacking setup that's XPED, like the cheaper discounted stuff from last year's models for warmer weather that I'm sure is going to do just fine. But the Nemo sleep system, you know, the jet boil versus a cheaper Amazon stove. Does the other stuff work? Absolutely. Does it get you out there and get the job done? 100%. But I've always been one that I'd rather acquire little by little over time and get good stuff rather than go out there and, oh shit, there's that wind. Rather than go out there and be unprepared. I gotta set you guys up differently, hold on. So this is a budget buy that I found at Costco. It's a telescoping tripod camp lantern with a removable remote on the bottom. It's got like 3 different color settings, 3 different brightness settings. You could adjust the height, high or low. It could be tabletop tripod setup, but this should be able to light my camp up tonight. Give me that additional light when I got the campfire going. Sun's creeping behind the hills now, so it's starting to get a little dark in some spots, but check in here in a minute and tell you how this white chicken chili tastes. Definitely put a little bit of excess water in there. God, not much though. It was only barely over the 8-ounce line, but whatever. Definitely could have rehydrated a little more, but that also could be because of how cold it is. That it got cold pretty quickly, but really tasty. A shit ton of beans compared to everything else, but not bad. This is actually really good. This could be an option. This could be an option when I'm out on the trail. Not bad at all. And totally redeem yourself. That was freaking awesome. Great meal from Peak Refuel. Very tasty. Definitely a trail option for this summer for the trips I got planned. It's a little windy, so I got to keep the fire respectable, but I'm ready to light that damn fire. I'm just sitting here by the fire for the last hour or so. Been doing some reading, just staring into the fire, looking off into the hills, looking at this flock of birds. I don't know if they're hawks or what, but they got these huge wingspans, and their feathers look like hands at the end of their wings. It's really cool. But it's about 8:30. This is usually my bedtime for every day for work. As you can tell, I'm getting very tired. I wanted to stay up till it got dark enough to test out this new tripod camp light. Only $30 for that thing, can you believe it? What a score. Seen some TikToks and Instagram reels of it, and it looks really cool, looks really good. Telescope's like 6.5, 7 feet tall, maybe taller. Or you can shrink it all the way down and use it as a tabletop tripod light. But I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I kind of feel like curling up in the sleeping bag and putting on some Netflix that I downloaded and calling it a night. I know I'm gonna get up early and want to hit this fire again and get some warm coffee. It's gonna be cold in the morning, so I'm gonna save some of that firewood for a morning campfire, but we'll see. There's a couple of deer right up on the hill right there. There was one in front of that one. Must have just bedded down behind that tree. Oh, maybe that was the first one. There's the second one right there. Yeah, the other one was right there. How cool is that? I've seen some deer tracks over on the early parts of the trailhead out that way, but I've never seen anything this close. This is right by the campsites. Literally on that hill right above right there. Cool. I'm impressed. Definitely a good investment for $30. Can tower up higher too. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely gonna use that in the middle of the night if I have to pee. Or in the morning if it's still really dark when I get up, which it probably will be. I don't know, that sleep system. So tired, I'm stuttering on my words now. That sleep system was super comfortable, so maybe I'll sleep in, who knows. Then again, sleeping in for me is like 6 a.m., so. Anyways. Cool. But I think this is gonna be the last log that I burn. It's like those Instagram reels where it says, guys will say, I needed this, and it's just them staring into a fire camping for several hours, and that's exactly how I feel right now. I needed this. Deer off in the distance, birds flying, birds chirping, sick ass camp light. Good times, but check in once I crawl into this tent and into the sleeping bag and say one last goodbye for the night. That's the brightness. You can change the color temperature. Really digging that light pocket. It like dims the headlight and gives this yellow tint. It's really nice, but got the Last Kingdom on and I got the GoPro set up outside on night lapse mode. I finally remembered to do it and the sky is clear tonight. The stars are coming out, so hopefully we get some cool footage. I'll have to check in the morning, but it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna curl up here. I don't know why I said curdle. I'm tired. I'm gonna curl up here and hopefully stay warm in the sleeping bag. So calling it a night. Good night. I love y'all. See y'all in the morning.
Good morning. 6:34. Don't know how cold it is exactly, but I stayed very warm and very cozy the entire night. I did have this top flap folded over, so I was completely encased the entire night because it did get into the mid, probably low 30s, which is past the comfort rating of this sleeping bag, but I did not feel a single bit of cold coming up through the sleeping mat, the sleeping mattress. Oh, there it is, the pad, the mattress, or this bag. I stayed 100% warm, even with the temperatures getting below the comfort ratings. So 100% a firm believer in Nemo products, Nemo sleep systems. And even with how much airflow comes through this tent, because this is basically a summertime, late spring and summertime tent, I still stayed 100% warm. Very, very happy with this stuff. But I'm gonna get up, get that fire going, mix some coffee. Yeah. Multivitamins, elderberries, and an Advil. Oh, yeah. Some hot coffee, dark chocolate molasses fig. Some of these Verve flavors are really good, and some of them are a little too complex, a little too much going on for my liking, but a couple of them are pretty good. Keeping it simple this time in true backpacking fashion. I do have my Jetboil silicone press system, but I didn't bring any of my fancy coffee with me from home. Just instant coffee for this trip. One less thing I gotta clean when I'm packing up and loading up the gear and heading to the next spot, you know. Oh, campfire and hot coffee. Is there anything better on a cold spring morning? smells delicious. That's a flavor I really like. Dark chocolate molasses fig with some hazelnut creamer I put in there. That's really good. Oh yeah, very delicious. These REI fleeces kept me warm. I do have thermal base layers underneath because, like I said, it got really cold. I knew it was, but I think in the summertime with just the fleece layers, and the beanie, some wool socks, with that sleep system, I think I should be very comfortable. Oh, nice catch, huh? Ooh. So if I do release this into a YouTube long form video, very happy with all my gear. The tent, the sleep system, everything was comfortable and warm. I have 100% faith in this stuff and this kit coming with me on the trails that I'm going to hit this summer. Got a few trips to the Sawtooths planned. Got a trip planned for the Tetons in August. And very happy to finally have a good, solid kit that I can trust out there on those trips. If this does make it to YouTube and there's anybody watching, just to give you an example of backstory, my first backpacking trip was to the Sawtooths in late September, which is kind of late in the season for it. It was pretty cold. I think it was 24 degrees the morning I got there. It's crazy because it warmed up to the, God, I think it got into the low 80s during the day, the heat of the day. Then temps overnight dropped into the 20s. And I was carrying a pack that was 45 pounds, I think it was. It was an Amazon military style backpack. I had way too much weight. I didn't pack correctly. I packed for my fears, as they say. But my tent, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, everything was all a bunch of Amazon gear, and it did the job and it got me out there and ignited my love and passion for backpacking. But it could have been so much better of an experience if I wasn't carrying too much weight in an uncomfortable pack with no padding that was way too heavy, and using a tent and a sleep system that was this cheap Amazon knockoff stuff, you know. I froze my butt off. I did not have faith in the gear I brought. It was still to this day one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, but it could have been that much better. So if you're just getting into this, stick to your budget, obviously. I mean, it took me since September, this is now mid-April, it took me from September to now to piece together little by little all of this quality equipment, quality gear. You know, from my Osprey pack to the Nemo tent, the full Nemo sleep system. There's so many good options out there. And if you become the REI member, it's $30. And then they give you $30 coupon right away. They're always emailing you $100 coupons if you spend this much. You get the member rewards points you can use.
if you happen to get the REI credit card, you get instant points that you can use every time you use the card. And I just waited, kept searching the app, window shopping for as long as I could, piecing together little by little stuff from the REI co-op outlet, coupons and gift cards and deals whenever I could, pieced together a very, very solid, very good backpacking system, little by little. Got discounts when I could and stayed within my budget and took my time over, 7 months? And now I have a good system I can trust on the serious trips I have planned. So can the Amazon gear get you out there and get you going? Absolutely. And I think you should do it. Do your research, stick to your budget, and just upgrade as you go. Get out there and enjoy it. Backpacking and seeing these national parks or these national wilderness areas will change your life, change mine, and it's helped me stay sober and motivated and ignited a passion and a love that just speaks truly from my soul to my heart, everything. So get out there and do it. 10 out of 10 recommend. Anyways, I'm just kind of taking my gear out of my tent little by little, spreading it out across the table so I could go through and organize what I'm going to take inside the house when I get home, what I'm going to load back into my pack. Cloudy today. It's not raining yet, but in the forecast today was supposed to be a heavier rain day than yesterday, so I think I'm just going to hang out by the fire for a little bit longer, and once the fire is almost out, then I'm going to start packing everything up. Call it a trip. It's going in my eyes. But it's been a very beautiful trip, very fun time. Glad I got out here and tested the gear I invested in, and glad I'm able to do this. Glad I'm able to share it with everyone. Yeah. So I've got my pack laid out here. I've got all my compression sacks, drawstring bags, and everything. I'm going to pack everything away in. So I'm probably just going to do a quick repacking. Just kind of show you guys how I pack my pack. Some of you guys might find that interesting or helpful. So start packing up the jet boil. I already got all my food and snacks in the bear vault. I got this REI compression stuff sack. Fits perfectly. Jet boil packs down and everything in itself. Slide it down in there. Put my fuel canister, the full one, in there. And there's my cook system. I guess first things first, I'll load up the pillow and the sleeping bag. Nemo pillow has this little valve. Twist it. Lets all the air out. This was a very comfortable pillow. Oh, it stuffs in itself. Ah, that's cool. I didn't even know that. That's cool. I've been using this REI stuff sack for it, but it comes with its own internal stuff sack. That's really cool. And I use this Velcro strap just to keep it all nice and compact. Bigger than most backpacking pillows, but twice as comfortable. So the Osprey Atmos 65 has a compartment right here in the bottom specifically for your sleeping bags. I'm using this REI sleeping bag compression stuff sack because the Nemo did come with its own really nice mesh zipper bag, but it's a big square one and it's not a compression one. Thought that was kind of weird for the price you pay for Nemo stuff to not have their own compression stuff sack. It's a little strange. Maybe because I bought it from REI and not from Nemo themselves. I don't know, but This REI 10-liter stuff sack works perfectly. Cannot say enough good things about this sleeping bag though. Definitely the warmest and most comfiest sleeping bag I've ever slept in. Look at that, 30-degree down sleeping bag shrinks that small. Stuff right in the bottom of the pack in its own little compartment. Bada bing, bada boom. Sleep mattress. Nemo Tensor All Season Sleeping Mat. 100% firm believer in this as well. Packs down small enough to fit in a backpack and still be considered, I don't know if it's ultralight, but pretty damn light. Nemo Switchback. Very, very happy with this one as well. Partnered up well with the other parts of the Nemo sleep system. That only leaves one thing, it's the tent. Well, I'm back home editing this footage from the video you're currently watching. I had to cut that camping experience and the filming short. That black truck that you guys saw driving in the background just a moment ago, dude seemed like he was out of his mind. He started whipping around the campgrounds doing donuts and driving all crazy and going back and forth from the road to where he was camped at to my right. They must have pulled up in the middle of the night or early in the morning and set up. And when he was pulling back up at his campsite after doing donuts, whipping around like that, the girl he was camping with, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend or something, she was screaming at the top of her lungs, letting him have it. And although I don't blame her, it was not a welcome sound or a welcome experience. And he did drive by at one point and wave and say good morning to me, but it didn't seem like a genuine, sincere good morning. It seemed like a, haha, I'm a knucklehead kind of thing. And it was just a very weird kind of experience. And I just put all my camera gear away. All that aside, it was just a very unwelcome, unpleasant experience at 7:30 in the morning in the campgrounds where there was only one other camper other than me who was very quiet, calm, respectable. Obviously didn't even hear him the entire time. The only reason they knew I was there is because they drove by on their ATVs and hit the trails, which they were permitted to do. And I didn't hear them. They didn't hear me the rest of the day or the rest of the night. Those other people were just an absolute disturbance, to say the least. And when I packed up and headed out pretty quickly, as I was leaving, the dude was driving his truck up the hill next to the bathroom, which is not an off-road trail, and it's extremely steep on all sides. And to me, I just saw like potentially that dude rolling his truck, and I just knew it was the time to get out of there. Unfortunately, that is a really popular campground, and this time of year it's starting to fill up a lot more, so just kind of ruins the experience of tent camping in designated campgrounds that are easily accessible. So like I said, I wasn't worried anything was going to happen to me. It was just a scene that I didn't want to be around and a scene that ruins it for everyone. So Fortunately, I couldn't show you guys how I organized my pack. I was gonna get a camera angle going down into my pack and show you guys how I organize it for maximum efficiency when I'm out there on the trail, but overall still a really amazing experience, and I'm glad I decided to turn this into a personal vlog series. So hopefully everybody's enjoying them. I love you guys. See you on the next adventure.